I never thought my life would blow up because of a neighborhood HOA president with a clipboard. One afternoon, she tried to unlock my front door with a fake key and dropped something on my porch that froze my blood. A police chief's badge, and she was about to use it to frame me for bribing my own wife. Act 1. The conflict begins. When my wife Jane and I moved into Maplewood Heights, we thought we'd made it quiet streets, picture-perfect lawns, the kind of place where the worst argument you'd expect was about who forgot trash day. I'm Michael, a forensic accountant. I dig into numbers for a living, fraud, embezzlement, all the dirty paper trails people think they can hide. But none of my experience prepared me for what was about to happen in this suburban paradise. That's when Patricia Williams entered our lives like a hurricane in heels. Early 50s, sharp suits hair that screamed weekly salon appointments, and that damn clipboard glued to her chest like it was a badge of honor. She didn't walk up to our house, she marched, like she owned the block. New resident inspection, she announced, trying to jam a key into my front door lock. A key that obviously didn't fit. I stood frozen, watching her twist and wiggle it, muttering, "These locks must have been changed without authorization." Then it happened. Something slipped from her oversized purse and landed right by my feet. A heavy silver badge engraved, Police Chief S. Harris. My stomach dropped. This wasn't some toy badge you buy at a Halloween store. It was real, heavy, official. And the way Patricia's face went white when I picked it up, like I had just caught her robbing a bank in broad daylight. "You can't tell anyone," she hissed, snatching it back, clutching it to her chest. "It's evidence. I'm helping the police with an investigation." Evidence. What kind of investigation requires an HOA president carrying around a police chief's badge? Every fraud instinct in my body lit up like sirens. But before I could ask more, she glared at me and said, almost whispering, "You'll learn what real authority looks like." And she stormed off, heels clicking like gunshots on the pavement. Act 2. Escalation and the twist. What started as one weird encounter spiraled into full-blown psychological warfare. Patricia began spreading rumors that I was bribing local officials, that Jane was just a boring county clerk shuffling papers, and that I was using her connections to skirt HOA rules. She built binders, actual binders full of lies. Coffee receipts turned into payoffs. A quick chat with my neighbor. In Patricia's twisted story, it was a coded exchange of money for favors. She paraded that stolen badge around like a trophy, telling people, "This proves he bribed the police chief." And people believed her. Neighbors stopped waving. Parents pulled their kids away when I walked down the sidewalk. My own block looked at me like I was poison. I can't lie, I started doubting myself. Sitting awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering, what if she actually wins? I've seen innocent people destroyed by false accusations before. I've testified in courtrooms where lies crushed families. Was I about to become one of them? There was a night I told Jane, maybe we should sell, just cut our losses and leave. "Maybe it's not worth fighting," I said. My chest was heavy. I felt powerless, cornered, humiliated in my own neighborhood. But here's the thing. Patricia didn't just push my buttons, she poked the forensic accountant in me. And that man doesn't back down. The turning point came when I decided to check Jane's closet, something that felt intrusive, but I was desperate for answers. Way in the back behind winter coats I found it. A uniform, dark navy, badges gleaming, nameplate, Chief Harris. Not a clerk, not a paper pusher. My wife, my Jane, was the police chief of Riverside County. I confronted her that night, uniform laid out on the coffee table like evidence in one of my own cases. "So let me get this straight," I said. "You're the police chief, and our neighbor is parading around with your stolen badge trying to frame me." She looked like a deer in headlights, then sighed. "Yes, I kept it quiet to avoid exactly this. People try to use me or worse. But now Patricia was about to walk straight into a buzzsaw, and she didn't even know it. Jane wanted to handle it by the book. Me, I wanted to set traps. I installed cameras, logged every movement Patricia made, because if she wanted to play evidence games, I'd bury her in the truth. But Jane told me, calm and steady, do nothing. Let her destroy herself. And I had to ask myself, could I really sit back and watch, knowing she'd ruined families before? "What would you do?" Step in early or let karma unfold. Drop a comment, because I still wonder if I made the right choice. Act 3. The Showdown. Patricia thought she had me cornered. She strutted into the Maplewood Police Department waving Jane's badge, spinning her web of lies. She told Detective Johnson I offered her bribes, that Jane the clerk was my inside connection, and that she had proof. And he bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. He signed off on a search warrant. The next morning I stood at my window, coffee in hand, as a convoy of police cars rolled up to my driveway. Maplewood PD, Riverside County Sheriff's Office, even an unmarked investigator unit, all lights blazing. Across the street, Patricia was shaking with excitement, dressed in her best jewelry, clipboard in hand, playing the role of hero whistleblower. Detective Johnson marched to my door, warrant in hand. "We're here to search for evidence of attempted bribery of the Riverside County Police Chief," he said. Oh, the irony, I nearly laughed. Patricia followed close behind, chest puffed out, waving Jane's badge like a victory flag. "This proves everything," she announced loudly, making sure the whole neighborhood heard. And then, the moment. Jane's police cruiser turned into the driveway. She stepped out, full uniform, rank insignia shining in the morning sun. Calm, unshakable. Chief Harris in the flesh. I swear time slowed. Patricia kept babbling, badge still in her hand, oblivious. Then Officer Smith, one of Jane's subordinates, spotted her. His voice cut across the chaos. "Chief Harris." "Ma'am, we didn't know this was your residence." The air went silent. Detective Johnson's face drained of color. Patricia froze, eyes darting between Jane and the badge in her own hand. "Wait, you're just a clerk. You file papers?" she stammered. "No," Jane said, stepping forward with quiet authority. "I'm the Riverside County Police Chief, and that badge you're holding was stolen from me." The collective gasp from the officers was priceless. Johnson realized in that instant he hadn't uncovered a corruption scandal. He'd been duped by a petty tyrant with a stolen badge. "Mrs. Williams," he said grimly, pulling out his cuffs, "you're under arrest for theft of police credentials, filing false reports, and obstruction of justice." Click. The cuffs locked around Patricia's wrists. She looked at me, eyes wide, still shaking her head. "This can't be happening. She's not important. She's not." But it was over. The queen of the clipboard dragged off in front of the very neighbors she'd poisoned against me. Closing line. Sometimes justice doesn't need revenge, it just needs patience, because sooner or later the liar falls into their own trap.